Now, you'll be forgiven for wondering what are newsletters in Kajabi. They're a new feature that just popped up one morning and probably like myself, looked at the dashboard and went, what is this? Or maybe you're completely new to this and not appreciating that this is a new product that's been dropped in. But newsletters and downloads that we're going to come to next are pretty new features. So what are they and should we be using them? Now, it's important just to say up front that, again, as with any of these products, they will come off of your allocation. So you can, by all means, have a play with it. If you feel it's not anything you want to use, you can just delete it off and it won't have taken that credit up. But if you do want to use it, then just know that it will take one of those and it might be the thing that pushes you into the growth plan. Now, my take on this really is, we can send a newsletter through our emails, and actually the emails in here, which we haven't come to yet, we're a few videos away from that. The emails are really nice inside of Kajabi, and so I could have a template email, change things around so I can send that out as a weekly, monthly newsletter. I guess with that, there's no history. There's no place to go back to and see previous ones. I feel that this really sits right in between an email newsletter and a blog post, because it's going to function more like a blog post, that you actually go back to the website and look back. You can watch this latest newsletter and then you've got the previous ones below it. The benefits of it would be that you're starting to get some analytics and you can, people are logging into it. It's not just emails that you're sending out and not really knowing whether people are watching it or consuming it. So let's have a look anyway and see what you think to this. I think as ever, it's down to your use case really. And some of you will be going, yeah, that's exactly what I need. Others will think, nah, not at all. It's not for me. And that's fine. So let's have a look. What I would encourage you to do, this is a new product. Click on here, learn more. And Kajabi have put a very detailed section in here, getting you started with this. Should you be doing it? How to set it up? Might be worth just having a look through that in a little bit more detail first. But let's go ahead and create one of these. And this looks quite familiar. This looks like every other product that we've put together. And we're going to put a title in here. We're going to stay, if you've been tracking through with this series in this playlist about virtual video editor, it was just a nice short little course that we could put in for that courses video. And so let's keep with that theme. So we'll stick with virtual video editor. Pop a little description in, thumbnail. So we're back to, we had to put it in square for the podcast. We're back to a regular size 16:9 for this. I do like how they do this, and it's kind of building it out there in front of you as you're going. Now, we can charge for this newsletter, apparently. I'm not quite seeing that. I think it's hard enough getting people to sign up for it as it is without having to charge for it. But let's click next on here. And it's going to get to work. Look, stage 1, it's going to build that out, generating the copy and images, creating an opt-in form, complete. This is exciting. Creating your welcome email, copy and images for that welcome email. Step 2 complete. Building the actual newsletter, complete. There we go. So what's this telling me at the top of here? You don't have a theme installed. Install a theme to customize newsletter website pages. Okay. But it's not letting me do it there. All right, we'll come back to that one and maybe we'll see what that's like. So yeah, this is the difference, I guess, with this. Look, we can see analytics here on subscribers, open rates, click rates, the audience. Why is that different? Yeah, slightly different metrics on there. I understand if this were important to you and you've been sending out a regular email newsletter and just not got a clue whether that's been interacted with, this could be a nice step up from that. So let's have a look. It's given us 3 posts in here for our newsletter. So what do we do when we preview? We'll come back in a second to updating the theme to customize these pages. I want to first have a look. So it has created for us the newsletter itself, a sign-up page, and a post page. So let's just jump through these. And the first thing we'll do is the sign-up page. So very simple. There's our little logo at the top, which looks a bit tiny actually. The editor newsletter. the post page. So this is where you're actually going to read the post on. And this is what it's just generated. Remember, I haven't put anything into this. And the actual newsletter itself. So we've got all of our posts here. So we would be putting images. So this feels like a blog, yeah? And then we could click ahead on here and come through and have a look at any. We can leave comments, and this is encouraging us to sign up to the newsletter, which ironically we're on it and looking. So yeah, so this again is where I think the whole AI, I don't get the point of it. It's kind of showing off AI and saying, "Oh, look, we can create a newsletter for you." Why would you want to do that? I'm not going to come at this and go, "I've got no idea for content. I'm going to click a button and there's my first 3 posts." I don't know. I guess it can give you ideas. It's a bit like using ChatGPT or something. You're just using it as that starting point, as a prompt, but it's actually built it out in here for me. I don't know. Let's go back through anyway, and we'll come back into here so we can click on any of these posts. Then we can click on it and go into it. Oh, that's not how we edit it then. Interesting. So I'm not actually going back into those posts. So they're there as drafts. I can duplicate it and preview it, but I can't actually go back into it and edit it. So that really does feel like a bit of a waste of time to me, because I'm never going to just say, "Yep, your AI version is great, up it goes." I'm going to want to create my own one. So I would come up here to new post, and I'm going to be building something out. Do you see what I'm saying? It does frustrate me sometimes. These companies are really going in, we've got to have AI built in. I don't actually know how useful that is. What else is up there? So we've got some settings up here for this newsletter. So we can turn on or off the comments. We could have that paywall if we wanted people to pay for this. Yeah, limited. Now we did see back over here this about installing a theme, and it doesn't let me there. But where was it that it showed me the theme? I think it was when I was actually in one of the posts. Come on, can you remember where I saw it? There we go. Right, update your theme. We haven't looked at themes yet. Maybe we hold off until we get to that video. We're a few away from it. We're working our way down these products. Then we've got sales. Then we're on to design. Let's have a quick look at a template over here. Kajabi do give you, and I've said this a lot of times when I've been doing reviews of Kajabi, they're excellent for letting you customize and work like this. This is one that I like, this Prosper, and puts a nice template in there for you to get started with. So I'm wondering what this will do, whether this has a newsletter feature added into it. Right, in it comes. I'm going to leave that side of it for now, because we do want to come back to that when we get over to building out and designing a website. Will it let me come back over here to newsletters? Okay, so now I can customize the newsletter page. Let's see how different it looks with a theme applied. Not great. But so it's pulled in Prosper up here. And this is where we really needed to get into that design bit first and have a look at that. This is very much like the regular page builder. So we could put it in a grid format like this here then with, this was the latest one that I did, wasn't it? And titled, and wants to come out really. So it could be coming in a grid, or we could have that as a list. That's not a good example of it, that I've brought that in with that theme, that template and that background. And I'm not liking what that's doing. For me to take that off, I would need to just take it right off of the whole thing. So it's brought it into the website design. I'm actually going to bring this back to using one of the default ones rather than there's quite a lot of color and that going on in that previous one. So if I come back to products, I'm hoping this will look a little bit better. Newsletters, we'll click on this one and let's customize the newsletter. Yeah, that's a bit easier on the eye to me. Not perfect. We would need to put something up as a banner up here really and make this a bit better, but you get the idea. It's bringing that in now, and you can see that we can start customizing this and make it our own. would you want to do this? You know, is this a product? Is this something that you'd want to do? Bringing people over here? Would you do this? You know, does this replace a blog? Do you just stick with a blog? I don't know. I certainly don't think this is anything that somebody would pay for when if you're trying to get them to sign up for a newsletter without you adding a lot more content in than this. But there it is. That's newsletters. It does surprise me sometimes, these features, these products that get put into here, when you consider that takes up the same credit as what an online course would do. I'm not convinced that this is something I would use, but there we go. Now, we're going to move on next to downloads. It's another new one that's just been put in. Again, there's a very specific use case for it, I think. So we'll come on to that one next. We're working our way down. It's the last of our products, and then we're going to get into sales. So if you're new to the playlist, please do subscribe. Make sure you get to watch these videos. And the next one over here then will be downloads. And then if you want to just come and have a look around on this playlist, there's a link down there to go and start at the top of the playlist. But enjoy. These are all up here for free to help you get going, and hope it serves you well.